Hi everyone, my name is Ramon Martinez, and today I'm going to be talking about the bacteria Bacillus anthracis as a bioterrorism agent. I'll be going over an overview of what the bacteria is, the different types of diseases that it can cause, and how it's been used in the past as a bioweapon or a terrorism agent. So first off, what is Bacillus anthracis? So it's a large aerobic gram-positive spore-forming non-motile bacillus. You can see a picture over there on the left of what it looks like. It causes the disease anthrax, which is potentially fatal, and it's very highly infectious. Anthrax has been around for centuries, and it's caused disease in animals for a very long time. It causes disease in humans as well, but traditionally it's a little bit less common than that. Um, yeah, it causes three different types of anthrax, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah, so the history of this bacteria. So, like I said in the last slide, the disease anthrax has been around and documented for a very long time. It's usually a disease that comes in of those who come in close contact with animals, and those animals usually contract the bacteria from the soil. Um, and more evidence towards the fact that this disease has been around for a very long time. The term anthrax comes from the Greek word anthracites, which means coal-like, and which refers to if you have the cutaneous form of the disease, which is on your skin. Um, it forms these black marks on your skin that we'll get to a little bit later. So that's where the name comes from. Robert Koch, he discovered the life cycle of the bacterium using in vitro techniques infecting animals. This bacterium actually served as a prototype for his postulates that he created uh, on infectious disease and how infectious disease can spread. Um, and then Louis Pasteur, he created an anthrax vaccine using an attenuated form of the Bacillus anthracis bacteria. And he also found that animals that were vaccinated survived versus animals that were not vaccinated. So this the pathogenesis of this bacteria. So the PX01 and PX02 plasmids are responsible for the toxins um, that cause anthrax within organisms. Both of those plasmids have been sequenced, so we have a pretty good understanding of how they work. Um, Once it's infected an organism, the bacteria uses an antiphagocytic capsule, and then it breaks in through either the skin or the mucosa. Breaking through the skin causes the cutaneous version of anthrax, whereas breaking through the mucosa causes the inhalational version in the lungs. After the capsule is ingested by the macrophage, the bacteria begins multiplying and producing a lot of toxin. And if the patient's left untreated, they could die within days. So it's very crucial to have an early detection of this disease. Yeah, so now I'm going to go into some different types of anthrax infections. Like I said, there's three that are common. So the first and most common is cutaneous anthrax. It's the most common form of this disease, about 90% of all the cases worldwide. Once it infects an organism, it can incubate for from 12 hours to up to 19 days. And as you can see in that picture, it forms a large black eschar on the skin. Um, if it's caught early and treated, that can actually heal completely and not leave any scar tissue, which is good for that person who might be infected. The second form of anthrax is gastrointestinal anthrax. It's caused by the consumption of undercooked meat of infected animals. So if you didn't cook it all the way, the bacteria could still be living on there and you can ingest it. The eschars form within the gastrointestinal tract. As you can see in this picture, it can form up in the mouth um, or all the way down into like your intestines and things like that. Symptoms of this are nausea, vomiting, anorexia, and fever. It's caused by a spread of that original eschar, so it could start in the mouth but spread throughout your entire gastrointestinal tract and cause major issues. Um, those symptoms are pretty common in any sort of sickness, so it's pretty hard to detect this type of anthrax early, but early detection is pretty necessary because if not, there could be a high mortality chance of this disease. And finally, there's inhalational anthrax. This is the least common form of anthrax. So back in the past, it used to have a mortality rate of 95%. Now that we have better treatments for bacteria and things like that, the mortality rate's down to 45% in the US, but that is still rather high, making it a dangerous disease. The illness begins with flu-like symptoms, then progresses to the development of dyspnea, stridor, and cyanosis. And then this is the form of Bacillus anthracis that is used in bioterrorism or bioweapons, which I'm going to get into now. So this bacteria has been used as a weapon in the past. In World War II, an aerosol of the bacterial particles were placed into a type of ammunition that would burst and then release the bacteria and cause people to inhale it. So it was used as a weapon in World War II. Also, shortly after the events of September 11, 2001, in October of 2001, cutaneous and inhalational anthrax cases started popping up, and that was due to mail being contaminated and people handling that, so it was spreading from person to person. Inhalational anthrax, like I said before, is very rare, and it hadn't been seen in the U.S. since 1976. So people believe that the inhalational anthrax popping up means that it was an intentional use to try to infect people as a weapon or a form of bioterrorism. And then this is my works cited. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for listening.